Hello, IELTS writers. Welcome to IELTS Juice. Let's start assessing an essay today. And remember, if you find the content helpful for your IELTS preparation, you might want to consider subscribing to the channel and clicking on the notification bell so that the next time maybe we upload another essay sample or a letter or report sample, you will be the first to see the videos online. And the second thing is an act of generosity. If you click on the like button, you will tell the YouTube algorithm that this content actually helped you in your writing preparation. So there might be other people all around the world who are struggling with their writing and they might be able to enjoy the content. And it is free. So by doing that, you will actually help a lot of people pass the IELTS test. And on those two notes, let's begin. Fossil fuels, coal, oil, natural gas, are the main sources in many countries. Correct, these are the sources of energy, and in many countries they use coal, oil, or natural gas. But in some countries, the use of alternative sources of energy, wind energy, and solar energy, are encouraged. So from the IELTS point of view, we have two types of countries. Ones that they use these conventional sources of energy. They are categorized under fossil fuels. And some other countries that they also use fossil fuels, but they are in the transition from these conventional ones into more environmentally friendly ones. So this is the fact. Guys, again, we are not going to challenge the fact. Whatever we see here is written in stone. You know, it's the God. It's fixed. This is what we're presented with. That's it. Now let's see how IELTS wants us to actually address it. To what extent do you think it is a positive or a negative development? So IELTS wants us to know that we need to write about our own opinion, and wants us to tell the IELTS assessor whether we believe this trend is a positive one or a negative one. This is not an advantage, disadvantage. This is for us to decide whether, imagine a diagram, there is a transition, there's a change. IELTS wants us to know or wants us to write if this trend is towards a positive way or it's towards a negative way. What the trend is, the trajectory. So we cannot just say, yeah, there are some positive points and there are some negative points and the positives are more than negatives. No. Generally speaking, do you think this is a positive trend or it's a negative trend? Why? You just say it is either positive or it is negative. You decide which one it is, and then you keep supporting your opinion. That's the goal here. That's what we really want to do. Let's move on. In many states, okay, I'm okay with it. The word state actually means a region. It's an equivalent of province. But in some terms, you can also consider it as a country. However, I'm not going to get into a lot of technical terms because IELTS is not geography. I don't think this is going to be a major issue. Fossil fuels are the main energy sources. While I don't need this comma. While few countries utilize other forms of energy, wind or solar. Oh, it's a dangling part. This part is a dependent clause. It cannot stand alone. I need another sentence. So I either need to connect it with the previous one or the one after that. Now, listen to me carefully, guys. I am a reader. I am not the writer. I don't know what the writer was thinking when he or she wrote these lines. So now I'm confused because I cannot ever understand what the writer had in his or her mind. Was this a continuation of the previous sentence, or it was deliberate in this way to be continued with the sentence that comes after it? I will never understand that, and this remains a confusing part. So this is a grammar mistake that is already confusing me. What causes this confusion? Just this teeny tiny little full stop. You see how effective your punctuation marks can be. I believe that the use of other forms of energy sources is a positive development, not the positive development, as it reduces subject-verb agreement, please, the requirements, plural, we're generalizing, of natural gas, coal, another comma we need, it's a listing comma, gas, coal, oil. So we need one comma here, another comma here, and is correct. Oil also decreases because it reduces the requirements and also decreases, matches with it here. Pollution, and thus overcomes, again, matches with it, health-related problems. I need a hyphen here because it's a compound adjective. I have read 2 sentences so far, and I have picked up already several errors. So this gives me an idea that this is no longer a 7 in terms of grammar and in terms of vocabulary. Let's continue. Fossil fuels have been used by people from 4 centuries for different purposes. That's a good topic sentence. It's short, it's to the point, and I'm thirsty for more information. My small issue is that, are we going to talk about the history of fossil fuel and its effects on the human civilization? Or are we going to stay on topic? This is a hard move. The writer made a sentence. Now we need to spend a lot of energy to connect that sentence with the rest of the paragraph. Let's see, maybe the writer was able to do so. Let's see how it goes. Due to an increase in population, the demand for fossil fuel is rising. Because I already used increase, I need another word. That's a good practice, guys. Try another word. This is an opportunity. I'm not saying this is an error. No, it's not an error. It's okay. This is fine. However, this was a lost opportunity. You could use another word and show off your range of vocabulary, but we didn't do that. So now one sentence is gone, and we just hope that in other sentences we can see more colorful words and or better vocabulary. Let's just move on and hope for the best. Therefore, I need a semicolon before and a comma after. Many countries face, not S, a shortage of fossil fuel. The writer believes that, yes, fossil fuel has been around, even in those countries that they're changing their trajectory. But the reason they're changing it is because the demand is increasing and they cannot supply. For that, they're thinking of some alternative methods. That is a smart move, but I'm not sure if it's completely in line with what the rubric presented, because the rubric sounded like they are replacing. So the energy consumption is somehow in a like a fixed term, and they are already replacing their energy consumption sources from fossil fuel to these solar and wind energy source, or the energy that was generated using solar panels and wind turbines. Let's see. To elaborate, this is the part. It has been found from research that the petrol in Dubai will be enough for the state for 60 years. Okay, I swear to God, there's a gap. These two are not connected. It's a teeny tiny little gap. Hopefully, is there. A but doesn't start a sentence. I need a comma before, but what will happen after that? 2 question marks. Oh, that's not formal. Again, it's not wrong, but double punctuation, like you want to put exclamation marks, like 3 exclamation marks, that is not suitable for a formal response. How will the government overcome this problem? Because this is another question. IELTS doesn't like questions, guys. Questions don't help you in the IELTS essay. They don't sound smart. IELTS presented you with a question. That's the IELTS's job. Your job is to convince and give more information, whatever you believe is related to that, and support. If you want to come up with more questions, that doesn't help you much. The answer is other kinds of energy, which will help in overcoming this issue. We already know that this fact was presented in the IELTS topic. This is what is happening in a few countries. This is what is, and it is, or this is what happens, maybe, present simple, in a few countries. But I like present progressive. This is what is happening in few countries, semicolon. They utilize solar and wind energy and utilize, they go together, the environment from pollution. The first paragraph doesn't give me a lot of valuable information. We already know some of the facts, and maybe the writer just wanted to lay the ground. We just know it's a positive trend. And in this paragraph, I just understood that they are going to save the environment. It is connected to the topic. It's not off topic, but I was expecting to see more elaboration on this fact, how it is going to help the environment. Basically, guys, I'm not comfortable with the arrangement of this paragraph. The message is lost. I feel the fear of the opinion standing up firm in the middle of a paragraph, saying that this is me, this is this opinion, and based on this and that, I believe this is a positive trend. I didn't see that. I saw fear. It's like always hiding behind facts that are already known to us. Not bad, but I was expecting a lot better. The demand of solar energy is rising rapidly. Again, the matter of demand. And who says so? The demand of solar energy is rising rapidly. What about wind? And is it something mentioned in the topic? Maybe the writer wanted to say clean energy. I haven't started reading the paragraph, guys, but right now I already see how difficult it is going to be for the writer to continue writing about this topic. It's going to be very difficult to connect this to your thoughts and to the topic. Now, people in developing countries are using solar panels in their homes, which benefits them. We're talking about solar panels benefiting them. benefit them in various means. For example, solar panels are helpful in reducing cost of electricity. Semicolon, therefore, comma, now people use fans or other appliances without fear of without the fear of electricity bill or a high electricity bill or fear of bills. Okay. Likewise, wind energy, this is not the topic of this paragraph. We weren't supposed to talk about wind energy, but now we're talking about wind energy. So I have to ask the topic sentence to change solar to clean energy. That's not a small change, guys. This is already damaging enough. This is a very damaging change. This must have been clean energy, and it wasn't. This is damaging. Likewise, wind energy is another form of energy by which, again, of course, we know that, by which we can produce energy without creating pollution. We know that. This is not the topic we wanted to discuss. This is just stating the obvious. If governments of many states use these forms of energy in industries, comma, then it will be cost effective. I need a hyphen here. And the global warming, I don't need will be reduced too. We weren't going, the purpose was not going to decrease global warming. The fact was the demand for solar energy is increasing. Therefore, more people, there's an overuse of therefore. More people will be saved from lung diseases, and they, because it's, I cannot say will be saved from living healthy life, and will live a healthy life or healthy lives or healthier lives. Again, the fact that people live healthier and the global warming issues were not the topic to be discussed here. I don't see the connection. I don't see the connection. They are in the same category, but they are not helpful. I know, guys, I feel you, I hear you from here, that you're saying, yeah, they're about this. This obvious, this is connected. Yes, but the connection must be written here. I need to see the connection, that they are connected, to say that, yeah, this is a positive trend because it is going to save us. Well, it is going to present us with a better life. How? Global warming is a threat. This is going to reduce it. Diseases are other threats. Using these energy sources are going to help us, I don't know, cure those diseases or control the spread of such diseases among the population of different countries. I don't see those connections. They are just mentioned as facts. And the connection is left for us to create in our own heads. That is the issue missing. In conclusion, the use of solar and wind energy should be increased by governments to overcome the shortage problem of fossil fuels, especially oil, to keep the environment free from pollution and prevent people from diseases. Now, I see the ideas are presented sequentially. Yes, this is a very, actually surprisingly, this is a very good conclusion. The solar and wind energy should be increased by governments, yes, because they give you positive trends, and because of the high demand, they are going to help us, and they are going to fill in the gap, and they are going to also at the same time help us prevent some diseases and some pollution. Good, 291 words. And I also don't like this is a one-sentence paragraph. Again, all of it is just one big sentence. Again, one sentence, guys, cannot form a paragraph. That's not standard. We need at least 2 sentences. 291 words. Let's look at the band descriptor. Okay. Yeah, as expected. The most powerful one was in coherence and cohesion. The items in the conclusion was presented in a sequential way. So the items that were mentioned in the first and the second body paragraphs had labels, and the arrangement was completely in the exact order as presented in the essay. That's the strongest one. Of course, we had only one main point, and it was the writer's opinion to decide whether it's a positive or negative trend. It was a positive trend. There were 2 paragraphs to support the idea. The information presented was relevant, but in some areas it wasn't adequately developed. That was the issue with this. That's why it has all the features of band 6, but it doesn't have all the features of band 7. And because of that, it remains 6. And paragraphing, again, wasn't always logical, especially in the case of body paragraphs. The second body paragraph needed a stronger core for that paragraph, but I couldn't find it there. It was filled with correct facts, but weren't connected to a cause, and it didn't have a clear label. Vocabulary, grammar, you guys saw the errors. The errors were the number of errors were quite significant. And there were complex structures. There were some words about the topic like global warming, I don't know, increase, decrease, population, state. I could see some sufficient range, but it wasn't wide enough. And even those came with some errors. Anyway, all in all, this is a solid 6. And can it be better than this? Very hard. The essay needs a lot of work in the foundation, in the framework, in the structure. If I were the writer, I would have chosen 2 items to support. I firmly believe that this is a positive trend, and then I would forget about the demand. We're just focused on the supply, and the governments are going to work on solar energy and wind together. So those are in the category. And then I would say that this is a positive trend and it should be like this. And also in the conclusion, I would mention that other countries should follow. Something similar like that. And I would stand firm. You don't have to be afraid. Just state your opinion and support it. That's all. And on those notes, guys, I wish you a lovely day ahead. But before, I always say, remember your essay, your reports, and your letters are going to be your representatives. They must be brave representatives. So let's make sure these brave representatives will do their jobs absolutely well. Have a lovely day ahead.